viewers, welcome to my channel again. My name is Toyin, your own girl from Nigeria. How you doing today? And this video is actually a follow-up on the first video I did on criticism. Before I continue with what I have for you today, please subscribe. Click on the subscribe channel. Support your home girl so you can get videos and you just get notifications as soon as I post my videos. You're aware and you can watch my video. Remember what I said in my very first video ever after? We are going to have a community where we can relate together on this channel. It's not going to be my thing alone. It's going to be a collective effort from you, my viewers, as well. Back to the topic at hand today. I'm discussing criticism. This is because it's very important to me. In my line of profession, I've come to realize how badly people take criticism. I mean, once you start criticizing people, let me not even use the word criticizing. Once you start giving people feedback, and it's negative, they automatically flip. They think you don't like them. It's just a psychological thing that I don't understand, especially in most of the places I've been to. It's just, it's terrible when people just assume every negative thing people say to them means, oh, it's just like an hate speech. They don't like you. And no, you don't learn from that. Like I said in my first video, please listen to my first video. If you haven't watched the first one, please do. You understand where I'm coming from in terms of this topic we are discussing. The reason why I decided to talk about this topic is because I've realized how much it affects people, especially in the work environment. Criticism, yeah. I mean, some people live some certain work environment and you hear them say so many negative things about their past place of work. And if you really dig deep, you realize what they're actually saying is because they feel somebody there, maybe their supervisor, their manager, the managing director of that organization is always picking them out of the lot, to criticize their work and all that. They refuse to see what they should have seen in the first place, which is you should have seen it in the first place. That criticism is a platform for you to be better. Yes, you can quote me anywhere. Constructive criticism. Now, there are different kinds of criticism, like I said in my past video. However, we're talking about constructive criticism as it relates to your work. Constructive criticism is a good thing. Now, let's look at how we can handle criticism positively with a mature mind without necessarily allowing it to affect us negatively. First of all, listening. I always tell people to listen. When your supervisor is speaking to you, even if it's your family member, your friend, your colleague, listen. Some people don't listen. They just don't practice. You're talking to somebody and the person is somewhere else. Like, seriously. So listen. When you listen, you'll be able to pick out the criticism that are constructive and the ones that are not constructive. It's as simple as that. So listen very attentively to what is being said. Understand why that statement or that particular, or why you're having that conversation. That is the groundwork. If you listen, you'll be able to dictate if this conversation or this criticism is born out of a desire for you to do better at your work or is born out of hatred. The second point I want to give in the area of listening is for you to assume good intention. Yes, when you're being criticized, trust me, just take it that, oh, this person wants me to be better. This person wants me to be a better person. That is why this person is giving me a feedback. Now, in the workplace, there are some places you work. They don't monitor what you're doing. At the end of the day, you do what they call appraisals. And that's when you see your performance. And then you start wondering, you start thinking, oh, that manager doesn't like me. However, there are some organizations, like I've been lucky enough to work in organizations where they give me my feedback as it goes. By the day, I know what I do by the day. And my manager was always on my tail or my neck, whichever way you want to put it. But I decided not to see it as a problem. I loved my manager. Yes, I remember all the managers I have worked with so far. God bless you all, because I think you guys are amazing. I never for once, say something negative about my managers in terms of when they criticize me and I get angry. I don't get angry when they criticize me. I pick out what they say. I listen to them. and I assume good intention. I'll give you a story of when my very first ever job outside the shores of Nigeria. My manager was like, "Oh, you deal with a lot of foreigners, so we need you to speak Queen's English. We need you to speak, very good English." Yes, I was actually told that my accent then was thick. So it was a thick African accent. "Oh, this is how we pronounce this is how we pronounce that, and XYZ." I took it on board. I didn't get angry, and I started listening to how my colleagues, because I work with people from that particular environment, and I started listening to how my colleagues speak, how they say certain words. When I'm corrected, I try to pick out the correct words, and I use the correct words to speak. And before I know it, my performance increased. Like, my clients, my customers started seeing me in a new light. They didn't even think that I just got to that environment at that particular time. Yes, so I learned. So it made me adaptable. After that job, I could adapt to any other job around that environment. I could flip. I could be among my Nigerian folks this minute, speaking my thick African accent and pidgin, and the next minute they want me to speak Queen's English. I could also do that. That was what it did for me. Now imagine the situation whereby, I was told, "Oh, your English, you need to, kind of, reduce the African thing in your English." And I pick it as an offense, and I say, "Oh yeah, that's the way I speak. Take it or leave it." No way. I wouldn't have been able to keep that job. Trust me, I would have been asked to leave. Yes, I would have been asked to leave because I didn't want to learn. So criticism is an atmosphere, it's a platform for you to learn to be a better person. And that really helped me. I'm going to tell you more about my experience with how I've been able to handle different bosses. Trust me, not even one, different bosses, and their way and their criticism, and maintain my relationship with them even after I left their working environment. I was still able to maintain good relationship with these people. That's because I never saw their criticism as a form of rejection. I never saw their criticism in a negative light. I saw it as a way for me to be a better person, for me to do what I'm doing in a better way. So I've given you 2 points now. Point number 1 is to listen attentively to what is being said. Point number 2 is never assume they're speaking negatively because they want to affect you negatively. That's point number 2. Is very important. No assumptions whatsoever. Point number 3 I want to give to you is do not be defensive. Yes, avoid being defensive. So how do we manage it, really? When you think about it, when you say being defensive, what does it mean? Okay, I'm telling you, this thing shouldn't be done in this manner. And you're telling me, but that's how we've been doing it. That's how I used to do it. That's how I will do it. According to some of the stories I've heard and some of the people I've had to work with, some people just actually don't want to learn new way of doing things. They want to stick to their way of doing things. It doesn't happen like that. Every day you need to unlearn and relearn. So you unlearn to relearn. If you don't unlearn, you cannot relearn. So we need to put that on board as well. Okay? So when you're being criticized, do not be defensive. And it still boils down to by point number 1 and point number 2. If you listen and you don't assume that person is trying to hit at you negatively, automatically you won't be defensive. So it follows in that manner. You will not get defensive about what is being said to you. You're not going to get angry. You're not going to become rude. You're not going to take it on board in a negative way. It helps. It helps. It really helps because it will help you form a good relationship. It will help you have a good time at work when you're at peace with everyone around you, and it will help you learn. It will help you be a better person. Yes. So I hope you've enjoyed my video today. I'm going to continue with the part 3 of how to handle criticism in my next video. Please stay tuned and I will speak to you soon. Take care. Bye bye.